another.
I think arrange for a rain or a brick wall tonight, again.
This is a tough one, isn't it? Any Queensland punter with a few dollars in his pocket is heading for Eagle Farm. The two big races on the card are the Queensland Derby and the Stradbroke Handicap, and we'll be bringing them to you live here this afternoon. With their thoughts on those races and our televised events from Sydney and Melbourne, Simon O'Donnell and Kenny Callender.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Well, racing today comes from sunny Queensland. It's a magnificent day here at Eagle Farm Racecourse in Brisbane, and we've got some magnificent racing for you live on the wide world of sports. You'll see races 4, 5, 6 and 7 from Eagle Farm, including the Queensland Derby and Australia's premier sprint race, the $1 million Stradbroke Handicap. With me to try and tip the winners is Simon O'Donnell.
Well, Ken, I'm about as fresh as the horses. We haven't been together since the Autumn Carnival. We're really looking forward to it. It is a great card of racing, and that Derby and Stradbroke are absolute beauties.
Well, in the Derby, it looks like Fayence, Valance and Super Slew. Super Slew, hard for me to say, are the main three chances. I like Fayence. I think Barrier 2 will help him settle, and I think he'll run the 2,400 metres right out.
Yeah, your top two I agree with, Ken, but I also think Revenge has got a good chance in the race. I think those three, your top two and Revenge will fill the top three placings.
What about the Stradbroke, Simon? Hariba?
Well, I'm a Victorian and I'm going to stick with Hariba, and I think there's some dangers from Victoria as well. I think Gold Ace is definitely a danger, Dana Singer is a danger, and at each way odds, I think Loader will run a good race. But the top horse, Hariba.
I think Hariba will win. If you can't afford to back him, I don't think you should bet in the race, although perhaps a place ticket on our replica. I think he's a good roughie. Also, we'll be doing the Daily Double, of course, from Sydney, from Randwick. In race 6, I like number 1, Eco Tour, and in race 7, I like number 2, Sword. What about at Flemington, Simon, race 5?
We've got the one coming from Flemington in Melbourne, and Mad Hatter, the top weight. It's a colt that did pretty well during the Autumn Carnival. It's coming back first up today. I think it can win.
Thank you, and I hope there's plenty of winners there for you. Here's Maxie Walker.
Thanks, boys. Happy punting out there. Horse racing wherever it's happening this weekend. Ian Maurice has it covered from his bag. Make that call. Give yourself a chance at the cash. Meantime, you might pick up a few bob if you followed our tipster's advice in race 4 at Eagle Farm. Here's Kenny.
Yeah, thanks, Max. We'll be trying, and as you see there, that's the barrier halfway down the straight for the 2,200 metre start. When the horses go past the winning post, they've got a lap to go. And an exciting race, the Eagle Farm Stakes. A good field. The favourite from the Gay Waterhouse stable in Sydney is TAB number 1, Stony Bay, and there he is. So let's have a look at the prices. Stony Bay now is out to $2.90 on the tote, which is odds of about 15 to 8. 1 7/8 gets out to $3. Of course, he'll be at 2 to 1. Number 2, Oppressor, is into 11 to 1. Number 3, Full Suit at 20 to 1. Number 4, now this is the horse I told you I like, Prior Way, was 14 to 1 earlier, into 10s, now it's into about 8, so just over, about $9.30 on the tote at the moment. Number 5, Nobelotto at $3.50, or odds of 5 to 2. Money Thinks is at 14 to 1. Then 9 to 2 or 4.5 to 1 for Just a Tick. Knowledge Box and Scenic India still paying about $31, odds of 30 to 1. A Short Sentence is out, and Stampede, it's in now to $7.80, which is even less than 7 to 1, almost 6.5 to 1. Still favourite Stony Bay, but easing a little on the tote. Good money for Prior Way, good money for Just a Tick, and a bit of money for Stampede. There's Stony Bay. Simon, you like him, don't you?
Yeah, I certainly do. The top weight, I think Gay's turned this horse out perfectly today. Another horse that caught my eye in the yard was a horse called Stampede, right down the bottom of the weights. Number 11, Stampede. Bruce Compton to ride, 51 kilos, out of barrier 4. Could get the run of the race. I expect to run a pretty good one. Money Thinks also looked well, and also Nobelotto took my eye in the yard. Prue Away out of barrier 5, 53.5, looked well as well. But Stony Bay really did take my eye, and you can't say we don't catch up with and get all the inside information here on the Wide World of Sports. Earlier I caught up with Gay Waterhouse on the chances of Stony Bay. It's a big day at Eagle Farm for Gay Waterhouse, and race 4, Stony Bay, given a good chance, Gay?
Yes, Simon, I give him a great chance. First time he's been on a dry track since he came to Queensland this preparation. He's been disappointing for the punters, but I thought he could atone today. I thought his main dangers, I suppose, were Larry Cassidy's mount, number 5 and number 7. I thought had an excellent chance. But he'll be out there in the front, and he'll certainly give them a great show.
The big race, the Stradbroke, $1 million worth, and All Our Mob, Persian Flyer, both from your stable.
Yes, All Our Mob's the horse I think has got an outstanding chance. He's won a Stradbroke when Brian Guy trained him. He's won a Newmarket handicap. He's beaten Hariba. I think he can easily win this race. Or not easily, but I think he's got a great chance of winning this race today. He's absolutely spot on.
And Persian Flyer?
Persian Flyer's the long odds. He's only got 51.5. He disappointed last start, but there were reasons, and I think I've got him right for this race. And I wouldn't be at all surprised seeing him run a minor placing and pick up a minor placing at good odds.
If anyone can get them right, you can. Good luck.
Thank you, Simon.
Yes, you certainly can get them right, Ken Gay Waterhouse. And Persian Flyer, I think she was quietly confident that that horse is going to run a pretty big race today, Ken.
Well, there's the horse she's got in this race, the favourite, Stony Bay, and we've got a man position behind the barrier, a usual clerk of the course on big days, New South Wales jockey Harry Troy. Can you hear me, Harry?
Yes, Ken, and good afternoon, everyone.
Harry, how do they look to your eye?
Well, Ken, I particularly like the look of your selection, number 4, TAB number 4, Prior Way, the New Zealand galloper. He looks very, very well, and in light of his good form, I'm making my selection to win the race. I thought Noble Lotto, probably from the Kerry Jordan camp, would be the hardest to beat, TAB number 5. Stony Bay, number 1, it does look very, very well, as you've all commented on. Just struggling to find some of that good form, Ken, and for that reason, I'll just make him my 3rd selection. The other runner in the market, number 11, Stampede, to be ridden by Bruce Compton, it looks very, very well, nice and relaxed, and he could run a pretty good race.
Well, H, I hope you're a good judge, because I'm also on Prior Way. She won a race in Sydney last October when trained by Bart Cummings. There's a presser, been a grand campaigner, won Group 1 races in Melbourne. He's won Group 1 races in Sydney. He's based on the Gold Coast. He's actually won over $750,000 in prize money, but he's just battling to gain form at the moment. He did lead them up in the O'Shea Stakes last Saturday. He won by the Phantom Chance, but failed to show his old determination in the home straight. Simon Marshall riding a presser. Very good jockey, Simon, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly is. He'll have probably nerves for a Reva in the Stradbroke later this afternoon. Simon Marshall, he'll give this horse the run of the race. He's a good judge of pace, and that's going to give a presser a great chance if it wants to lead in front of Stony Bay or just sit off the pace.
Yeah, one of the two will lead. A presser used to always lead. Stony Bay likes to lead, so I don't think either boy will want to overtax their mount, so who's ever the more determined to lead shouldn't have to do it too hard. There's Stony Bay, Shane Dye the jockey, showing 3.10 on the tote now, odds of fractionally better than 2 to 1. He did look well, and I'm sure that he'll give a big sight for his backers, including Simon O'Donnell. I've got a couple of dollars on the roughie on Prior Way, or it's not that rough now, it's about 8 to 1 on the tote. Okay, they're just about all ready for the running of the race 4 on the program, the Eagle Farm Stakes. Here's our caller, Alan Thomas.
Lotto 3.10, Stony Bay 3.30. Gates open, they're off and racing now, and Stony Bay in the middle of the line was the first to go, and Dye took him straight to the lead in front of a presser and Full Suit, and Money Think striding along the fence. A couple to Scenic Indy on the outside of Stampede, followed by Prior Way, Noble Lotto, just a tick next to last, and last of all is Knowledge Box. There's no speed on there, crawling out of the straight at the 1900, where Stony Bay had the ears pricked and he led by a length and a half. A presser races second, Money Thinks is third on the rails, 2 lengths away, then came Full Suit. A length and a half to Stampede, 2 to Scenic Indy, 2.5 to Prior Way, a length and a half to Just a Tick, 3 parts Noble Lotto back next to last, and Knowledge Box is last, and he's 12 lengths from the leader, which is Stony Bay at the 1500 metres mark, and he's keen to go a bit quicker. Dye's trying to restrain Stony Bay, wants to pull a bit. He led by 2 to a presser on the fence, Money Thinks, and Full Suit races in 4th position. A length and a half to Stampede, a bit more than a length Scenic Indy, followed by Prior Way. Noble Lotto third last, starting to pick up a bit of ground, followed by Just a Tick, and Knowledge Box on the outside as last. Going to the top corner, 1,000 metres to go, and Stony Bay is the pacemaker. He led by a length and a half of presser, Money Thinks third on the fence, and there followed by Full Suit. Stampede is 5th on the rails in front of Scenic Indy. Prior Way next on the inside, and Noble Lotto's been asked to go forward now. Cassidy about to take off on the outside, and a length and a half together last. Knowledge Box on the outside of Just a Tick to the 700 metres mark, and Stony Bay is still the leader. A press has been asked to get closer to him now, followed by Money Thinks and Full Suit. On the fence then came Stampede from Scenic Indy. Noble Lotto working into the race. Knowledge Box is deep in there, followed by Prior Way, and Just a Tick's gone back to last. On the bend, and Stony Bay first around the corner. He's a length over Money Thinks going for the rail. They're followed by a presser, followed by Full Suit, Scenic Indy, and Noble Lotto's about to rev up, and then Stampede. Stony Bay joined by Money Thinks on the fence of the 200. A length away, Scenic Indy, and Noble Lotto on the outside from Stampede. Money Thinks the leader from Stony Bay. Now Noble Lotto starting to put in the big ones. Noble Lotto's going to Money Thinks. Noble Lotto gets level with Money Thinks right on the line, and and Noble Lotto, I think, a nose. I think Noble Lotto's got up a nose to Money Thinks right on the line. There's a lip in it. Stony Bay third in front of Scenic Indy, and then just a tick followed by Full Suit, and then came a Presser Stampede, Prior Way and Knowledge Boxes, the last one home.
Boy, oh boy, have we got a thriller here, and it depends on the angle. It looks like Noble Lotto may have grabbed Money Thinks right on the line. Two very good mares. There's Money Thinks close up now. Beautifully ridden by Darren Beedman, was just going to hang on. Now here comes the head of Noble Lotto. Here comes the winning post, and when they hit it, oh boy, is it a close one. The line here is not right on the finishing line, so even though it looks like Money Thinks has held on there, you've got to tack on a little bit for the outside horse, so don't be too sure. That's Money Thinks on the rails, Stony Bay between them in the white cap. He's had enough, although he hangs on for third. And here's Noble Lotto for Larry Cassidy, charging at Money Thinks and Darren Beedman. They're just about to hit the line. See if you can line them up. The judge is trying to do that right now. Looks there from that angle as though Noble Lotto is going to grab her. And my experience here in Brisbane is you've just got to tack that bit on for the outside horse. And number 5, Noble Lotto, has got the decision. Yes, Noble Lotto first, Money Thinks second, and Stony Bay third. So you want to always remember that. Just tack on that little bit for the outside horse. Number 5, Noble Lotto, has come in to pay $3.10 and $1.50. Number 6, Money Thinks second, has paid $4 exactly for the place, and number 1, Stony Bay, has paid $1.60. There's another angle. There is it looks like Money Thinks has won looking at that angle, but I can assure you she didn't. Now that's Money Thinks over on the rails in the yellow or the gold with the black cap, the colours carried by Rusland, who in the Stradbroke last year. The white cap just outside of her is the Stony Bay, the top weight, and then coming down the outside in the orange cap, Larry Cassidy using the whip in his right hand, is Noble Lotto. Larry Cassidy's now with Harry Troy. Harry, I bet you've got an excited man with you.
Certainly have, Ken, and very strong win here by Noble Lotto. Good gutsy win. Congratulations, Larry.
Thanks, Harry. It was a good grinding win. If anything, the last little bit she might have come there, but we had a hard run from the 600. I got sort of pushed. One come out in front of me sharply and sort of pushed me a bit wider, and it made it a little bit harder.
A good gutsy win, mate. OK, I'll leave you now to enjoy the moment, and we'll cross neck to Kenny Calendar.
Yeah, thanks very much, Harry. Noble Lotto, she's had a big season. She won the Wagga Cup last month. She's trained at Rose Hill in Sydney by Kerry Jordan. Kerry's now with Simon O'Donnell.
Kerry always confident?
No, never, Simon. Took a long time to pick her up, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a close one.
Yeah, it was, yeah, but she deserved it, you know. She got home hard, even though she took a while to get there. I was happy with her.
Got to go and enjoy it. Kenny, it's back to you.
Thanks,
OK, thank you, Simon. There she is, the winning mare, TAB number 5, Noble Lotto. As I said, she won the Wagga Cup last month. Now she's won at Eagle Farm. The travelling must do her good. We're going to have a break now, and then we'll be back with more on the Wide World of Sports. Well, there's the scene at Eagle Farm Racecourse on Stradbroke Handicap Day 1996, and I can assure you the sun is out, the weather's fine. If this is winter, I can't imagine what summer's going to be like. Well, we've got the dividends now for race 4 at Eagle Farm, the Eagle Farm Stakes. These are Queensland TAB dividends. Number 5, Noble Lotto, was first, paid $3.10 the win, $1.50 the place. Number 6, Money Thinks, was second, paid $4 exactly. And number 1, Stony Bay third, paid $1.60. We've got a slight technical hitch in Melbourne, Simon. We just haven't got the prices now. We should have, but these things happen. They're about to go into line for the first leg at Flemington, and I know you've got to fancy the top weight.
Yeah, I do like Mad Hatter. It's a horse that has done quite well during the autumn. It ran some good races, and I really think today its first run back this preparation. I think it'll run a pretty bold race. The horses to watch, Central Express, obviously from the Freedman camp. It's a good type of horse, a well-performed horse, and there's some big mail on the course up here at Eagle Farm. I imagine the same in Melbourne for a horse called Rose of Portland, also out of the Freedman stable.
Okay, well, we can see this race has run down the straight at Flemington. It's 1,100 metres. There's a straight 1,200 at Flemington, so this starts about 100 metres down the straight. And it can be a bit tricky with big fields because sometimes in a field of 18, Simon, you get the outside favoured and they go to the outside rail. Other times it's horses on the inside that are favoured.
Yeah, that's what's causing confusion down there today, in that the rail is out 8 metres, so I'd say horses from barrier 12 or from 12 to about 10, they'll have to make a decision on whether they go to the inside or the outside. Conjecture this morning was which will be the better going, with the rail being out 8 metres. I suspect it will still be on the inside, but I think we'll see a number of horses go to the outside rail.
They're going to be running just a little late here because it's 20 past 2 already, and that's post time, 20 past 2 in Eastern Australia. And you can see a few horses are still coming up the straight, and they're not the attendants don't seem all that keen on getting them into the barrier. Simon, Johnny Hawkes is just about the top trainer in Australia these days, and with all training octagonal, your pin-up horse, I understand you spoke to him earlier in the day.
Yeah, I certainly did, and Johnny's pretty confident about the possibilities of a lot of his horses here at Eagle Farm today. Let's see exactly what he had to say. The race this afternoon, the Derby, and Faience is your major hope?
Yeah, you know, he's done everything right. His win was very, very good in the Grand Prix, and he's trained on lovely since then, so I'm extremely pleased with the horse, you know, going into today's race.
Cohort and Encores also in the Stradbroke. Do you give them a chance?
Yeah, they're both sort of different types of horses, you know, although one has drawn very bad, Cohort, and he's perhaps going to need a lot of luck, and Encores, well, he's, you know, very fit, and this is a race we've always set him for, and he's lightly weighted and drawn a lovely barrier, so I'm sure he's going to be very, very competitive.
You're not going to get through this interview without me finding out how's my old Cobber?
Yeah,
octagonal.
He's sensational, you know, he comes back into Crown about another 10 days, so, and he looks fantastic.
You need me there to ride him track work or anything?
No, I think we'll handle it quite all right, Simon. I'll let you see him when he comes to Melbourne.
I'll give you my number and give us a yell if you need me.
Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, John. He was a happy John Hawkes. I'm probably not surprised that he didn't want me to ride track work on octagonal. At the moment, it's got a lovely spine, just a nice little bend in it there for the saddle to go in. If I got on, it would have a sway back.
Just going to say how to give a horse a sway back in one easy lesson. Okay, let's have a look at down in Melbourne now. You beauty. At least they're starting to place these horses in line, and it won't be too long. Professional barrier attendants don't take long at all to get horses into the machine. They've really jumped themselves into action. They did look very relaxed there before, leaning on the side bars of the starting barriers, but by gee, they've worked very quick and they've got the majority of the field in already. Yeah, Mad Hatter, he's a 3-year-old colt by lunchtime. As Simon said, he likes him. He's drawn barrier 4. If you're looking for him, he races in gold with a green shamrock and a white cap. And I assume, even though he's fresh, that he'll get back a little bit, and let's hope he's rocketing home for you. Exclusive Halo, TAB number 2, races in bright lime colours, and he's going to start from the outside of the field out in barrier 18. Righto, let's have a look there now. Look as though we're still waiting for 1 or 2. No, that horse goes in. So I reckon, Simon, we should cross to our caller at Flemington, John Russell. Here he is.
Favourite one is drawn 2 from the outside. Spirit of Love. The inside stall. Ribbons Rouge standing up well, a Caulfield winner recently. Lights on. Set and they're off. Outside division, and Exclusive Halo going out there in company with Reach to the Stars, and Bullion Lady began well. Fashion Jester just in behind them. Jacoby Golden Sounder, and in fact they're all heading towards the grandstand side of the track here. Spirit of Love is going out there from barrier 1, and over on the outside now, Fashion Jester is one of the leaders here with Listerfield Luck, and it's to Bunchfield all coming down the grandstand side. Games Gallery also in the picture. Spirit of Love just in behind them. Rose of Portland, Lord Luskin, Exclusive Halo, Reach to the Stars is in behind them, followed by Jacoby Ice Vintager. They're racing down towards the course proper now with about 600 to go, and Fashion Jester is the leader from Listerfield Luck. Games Gallery, Lord Luskin in behind them. Ribbons Rouge, Spirit of Love. Reach to the Stars is a fair way back, but starting to gain some ground, followed by Exclusive Halo, who's under the whip, and they're followed by Ice Vintage. Fashion Jester is the leader from Zarovic, who's putting in a good run, and Reach to the Stars is just in behind them, running on well. It's Fashion Jester tackled now by Zarovic, who hits the front, and Reach to the Stars finishing very fast. Zarovic is the leader close to home. Reach to the Stars trying to get it, won't make it. Zarovic wins it by a half length to Reach for the Stars, and Jacoby in a photo for second and third. Rose of Portland has finished on from a fair way back, followed by by Golden Sound. Back behind them then came Ice Vintage, followed by Central Express, Bullion Lady, and Ribbons Rouge, Mad Desire, Fashion Jester, Exclusive Halo, Lord Luskin. Then We're Escaping, Spirit of Love, Mad Hatter's a long way back. And towards the tail of the field there is Listerfield Luck in company with Games Gallery.
Well, number 12, Zarovic, trained by Midge Didham, who won a Melbourne Cup about 25 years ago on Baghdad Note. And Zarovic racing in the blue colours, ridden by Gary Skinner, just defied the opposition, reached to the stars in the white with the orange sash, was going to pick it up 100 times, but, well, was all in vain because it wasn't quite good enough, never got there, and Zarovic has won the money in the first leg of the double at Flemington. A break, then more on the wide world of sports.